A couple of days ago, I was listening to um, one of Dr. Wayne Dyer's teachings, and I love Dr. Wayne Dyer. He is one of the ones that helped me to realize that because of what I'd gone through and experienced in life, it had nothing to do with my potential. So, listening to him, when I listened to this one particular talk that he did, he talked about when he was in foster care, he and his brothers, and what that experience was like. And I thought to myself, Danae, he's a doctor, he's an author, he's a coach. If he can do these things and he was in foster care, uh, yeah, you can do this. You can do what you want to do. Because at the time, my thought process was that because I grew up in foster care, that there was the stigma attached to that, and it meant that I could not be successful in life. Well, I created that stigma. No one told me that I couldn't be. However, I did have messages from foster parents and social workers and things that, I just wasn't going to be successful. I was going to be, as one foster parent told me, I was going to be another foster care statistic. Well, I'm sure she's not watching, but that didn't happen. Anyway, sometimes it's what people say to you that will cause you to be stuck. And that could be a positive thing or it could be a negative thing where you feel stuck. And so I was stuck in that belief. Listening to him helped me to realize that wasn't the truth. It didn't have to be the truth. And I started doing, inner work and things like that on myself. Of course, I'm still doing inner work. So when I heard him the other day and he said, everything that you need is already inside of you. And I thought, wow, that is so true. That is true. It hit me because I'm working on this project and I've stalled a bit on it. I've started and I've stopped. And so this morning I had a one-to-one coaching self session between self and self. And so my coach self said to Danae, what's the problem here? This is something you can do. This is something you want to do. And because it's something you want to do, you need to go forward. You need to move forward with it. So let's talk about this. Let's talk through it and find out where the issue is. You're not stuck. I was like, no, I'm not stuck. But you're stalling. Why are you stalling? So as we had our self-to-self coaching session, I realized, and I'm going to say this because I know it's going to help somebody. When we do self work, or when we've gone through, coaching, and when we've gone through therapy, there sometimes in life, as you move through life, there's that one thing or a couple of things that may come up and try to reintroduce themselves to you after you've done all of this work. And that one thing that tried to reintroduce itself to me was that message that what you have to say is not important and you need more. I spent so much time thinking and believing and living my life like I needed more. I didn't need more. It wasn't more that I needed. It was to go inside and have that divine awakening as I moved all of the false language, as I moved all of the false messages out of the way to come to a point of, wow, I can do this. Wow, I did this. So after my self to self coaching this morning, I love that self to self coaching this morning, I sat back and I said, okay, Danae, let's think about a time that it was something similar where there was something you wanted to do and you thought you didn't have enough, that you needed more. And I remember, I will never forget this. It was a Sunday morning and I didn't go to church that morning. And I don't remember the reason why, but I had this thought where I wanted to do a radio show. I wanted to be a talk show host on a radio or a radio show. Well, I didn't have any education related to it. I didn't have any knowledge of the industry. I didn't know how to conduct an interview. I didn't know about all of the nuances in that you have to know and have to do in a radio show, but I just knew I wanted to do this. So I went online and I looked up things regarding radio show. I came across Blog Talk Radio. It saved me. I started this radio show. I didn't have guests at first. I did a lot of it on my own. And I started the radio show, and then I started getting guests. I started getting speaking engagements as a result of the radio show, which is, I was like, wow. And then that was another little thing. It's like, oh my God, okay, you're getting a speaking engagement. What are you going to talk about? I'm going to talk about what I was talking about on the radio show. It's not, this fear thing was coming up. What are you going to talk about? Is it going to be enough? There's that word again. You need more. No, I didn't need more. I needed more concentration. I needed more power within me. It's in me to move forward. So I moved forward, did the radio show for 5 years, had a special guest every month. That was amazing. And I did that. I realized that I was helping people. That was so important to me, to know that I was absolutely helping people. So what Dr. Wayne Dyer said when I was listening to him a couple of days ago is this: everything that you need is already inside of you. And I said, wow, Danae, that is it. It's inside. It's inside of you. Stop stalling. Stop telling yourself, well, you go through the, I'm not sure, maybe, and maybe you do one thing toward that and then you stop. No. I made the decision this morning to go forward. As I tell many people, and as I've said it before on this channel, move your life forward. What am I saying to you? I hope that I am encouraging you to take the limitations off of yourself. Because for me, my limitations and the negative talk, it didn't come from the outside so much. Most of it came from inside. It was in me. So it was like I woke up with it. I went to sleep with it. It was in my mind, in my head all day long. You need more and more and more. No. So when I was thinking back on the radio show, I said, okay. And what Dr. Dyer said about everything you need is within you, which is so true. There just has to come this divine awakening. And that's what I had this morning. I had this divine awakening. Awakening like, what's the big deal here? If this is something you really want to do, you can put your mind to it. You can put your energy to it. You have people and resources that can help you, right? And so I said, okay, I'm going to move forward consistently. That was my other thing, is that before I would start something and stop something, I wasn't committed. But I realized why I wasn't committed, because growing up, people weren't committed to me. I went from one foster home to another foster home, one set of foster parents to another set of foster parents. And so there wasn't a consistency with me. And that was one of those things, as subtle as it seems, it was big. As subtle as it seems, it was big. So when I was thinking about it this morning, I was like, oh, I had this image of this pile of dirt. And in that dirt, someone told me that there was a diamond in there. And I thought, oh, wow. So one thing about me, I am competitive. When I have this image of myself, going through, like rummaging through garbage or whatever, rummaging through this dirt to find that diamond, because it's in there. That diamond is in me. And so I just sat back and I thought, okay, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're moving forward. One of the things that I had to tell myself, and you may have to tell yourself, don't get concerned about how fast you're going. Don't do that, because you're going to end up, it's like a hamster wheel. You're just going round and round and round and going real fast, and you are literally going where? You're going nowhere. You're not moving. You're moving, but you're not moving forward. You're not making progress. Really think about it and decide what it is you want to do. Start thinking about how you want to move forward in that. One of my coaches, what she said to me, she said, see it as you're doing it now, or see it as if you're doing it now. And what she meant by that was, get the feeling. What's the feeling like? What do you feel because you're doing this? What are you wearing because you're doing this? What have you accomplished because you're doing this? So I want to say to you, get that thing, whatever that thing is. And it doesn't have to be big, big, huge. No, it can be small. Whatever that is for you, get that. See it in your mind and see what it feels like for you to accomplish that. See what it feels like when you have done that, right? And from there, just start moving forward. Just start moving forward. Yeah, just move forward. You have to have some forward motion. You have to have some forward movement. If not, it's always going to be the same in your mind, right? And here's the other thing, you can't blame anyone. You can't blame anyone. Don't go through the blaming trip. Don't do that. That is a absolute waste of time. Decide what it is that you want. Start putting the thought behind how it's going to feel. No, you don't know exactly all the details of how it's going to work out. You don't know that, and that's fine. But then, this is where you have to trust. And if you have a spiritual practice, trust your spiritual practice for guidance, for direction, right? And I promise you that every person you need, every resource you need, it will just start coming to you. That radio show, I got speaking engagements as a result of it. I got people that wanted to be on the show. I got people that were helped as a result of it. I never saw that coming. I just knew I had this strong passion about doing a radio show, and it happened. So, what am I saying to you? Get moving, move forward, make it happen. You can do it. Enjoy.